She says, "Ah, I've had an epiphany! Everything is coming together.
Alright.
Math, science, history, all in this epiphany. Yes."
If I wasn't driving right now, I would smack my forehead so goddamn hard at that, but...
Was that cringe, Adam? Was it cringe?
Adam just focuses on the steering wheel and kind of listed a little bit to the left. It's like, no, not worth it. Not worth it.
Well, she says, smiling, I understand what I've been looking for.
Alright. Lay it on me.
I have to confirm my theory just for now, but I'll tell you when I'm done. Alright?
Alright then.
I can feel the shackles slowly coming off of me.
Well, that's good.
She fell asleep.
I'm not even doubting that. I'm just gonna be like, oh, you sweet summer child. I'm just gonna keep driving.
You get to your summer home, your beach house. Quite the nice place. It's in pretty deep into the forest in the southern section of California, on what is basically Rich Row, as I'd put it. It is a row of houses, all secluded in the forest, that are just beach houses with massive sections of property surrounding them, like Royalty Road from the Naruto campaign. Just
okay.
Huge places, and you kind of pull up to the front. Your mother is actually there. She's just got here as well. You see her and her friends slowly unloading supplies from the van, and she says, "My babies," she says, opening her arms fully. "There you all are. I've been so concerned about you with the new school and everything."
Is he still asleep?
Yes.
I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna go to my mom, I'm gonna give her a hug, and be like, me and Eve have been doing good, although, between you and me, she's been going through some shit, and we also found out some shit. I'll tell you about it later.
Huh? Eve slowly begins to wake up. Who shut the car engine off?
I'm gonna walk over, I'm gonna open up her door. I'll be like, alright, we're here, sleepyhead.
She slowly steps out. Okay. I am awake. Your mother says, so, you all wanted to meet with us and have a nice chat, I assume?
You know it. Just, want to catch up, talk to you. I'm gonna look at her associates. Are all three of them here?
Yep.
The little vampire, the fucking Frankenstein, and then the fucking hippie?
Yep. Hippie? Question mark? The regenerative guy, yes.
Yeah. But he had those like weird shades on, looks like a hippie.
Yeah, the hippie shades. You know, those used to be associated with cops at one point.
Yeah.
And the hippie shade guy, that very guy, looks at you and he says, "Hey, I've heard about you, little man. What's up? You're her son, right?"
Yep. Name's Adam Seraphim. Although you already knew the last name, because gestures to my mom. I don't think I caught your name, though.
Oh, yeah, he says, picking up a huge stack of books. Yeah, of course, of course. He, like, holds the books in one hand and reaches out his hand to you and says, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. Most people call me Blood, but you can call me... we'll just use first names here, because I know yours. Nice to meet you. The name's David.
David. Alright.
He slowly walks inside.
I'm gonna look at the other two. Like, alright. So that's David. Who are you two?
The man looks up. And so does the girl. And your mother says, oh, yeah, these guys. So you were talking to them. You know. You were asking about them. This is Frankie. He's my personal hand. He's my left-hand man. And this is Ani.
Ani?
Ani.
Did the fucking girl under the stairs ever tell me what her mom's name was?
Yes, that is not the same name.
Okay.
This is
what the fuck
Ani.
Is the girl's the stairs name again? Because I can't remember if I actually put it down. Or, wait, is it Raya?
Yes, it's Raya. I was about to make a comparison. Think you just played through Elden Ring, right? Raya, Lucaria.
Yeah.
Raya. Let's remember that.
What were their names again? Oh, I'm trying to type them down.
So, the man with
David.
regeneration powers, David.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie. And there's two L's to this name, which makes me think it's pronounced differently. For those of you who don't know, I use a random name generator to name most of my characters. It's more accurate that way to real life. Her name is, I think it's pronounced Ellen, but I think it's also pronounced Elen. I'm going to go with Ellen.
So E-L-L-E-N?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all. Think of that awful TV show host.
Wow.
No, she's actually awful. She's terrible to anybody who works with her.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV.
There was a whole problem with that, like, a couple years ago. Anyway,
okay. Well.
does Ellen look like her daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
If Ellen overdosed on energy drinks and video games, she'd look a lot like her daughter, only slightly taller.
Yeah.
Yep. Frankie says, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, he says, slapping your hand a couple times and then grabbing it, giving you like 3 quick high fives, grabbing it, shaking your hand, and he says, I think I met you when you were a baby.
Yeah, Mom was saying that you guys were good friends with her whenever, a few years back, and surprised I didn't meet you till now, actually.
I'm always on the road with your mother. I rarely come around her true residence, mostly because rarely any of us do. Your mother likes her privacy. Speaking of her privacy, where do you want me to put these? He says, holding up 2 large speakers. Oh, those, put them under the stairs, in the basement. Alright. He walks away. As Ellen here, she looks at you and says, well, nice to meet you, she says.
Nice to meet you.
If you ever have a problem with your platelets, just tell me.
Platelets?
Yeah, platelets. She walks away.
Alright.
What's wrong, Adam?
I'm turning my...
Eve says.
I did... They kind of caught me off guard. I've never had someone mention platelets and just in normal passing by conversation, but threw me off. Wow.
Do you,
Okay.
do you know what platelets are?
Isn't it part of your blood?
Well, technically, yeah, it's a blood cell. Not really.
They help with the reconstruction of your, like, flesh tissue.
Platelets are... Okay, so the way I was explained to it, I had to take a lot of biology when I was younger so I don't break my body thanks to my quirk. But the way I was explained it is that platelets are smaller cells that come off of a bigger cell. Called a mega capacitor or something.
Okay.
That's about all I know. Your mother says, oh, hon, she has the power to clot and unclot blood.
Yeah. Are Ellen and Frankie out of earshot?
Yes, all of them are.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna look at my mom and be like, so, me and Eve here actually, well, mainly Eve, she got reconnected with one of her old friends. Her name's Lizzie, and we actually hung out the other day. It was pretty nice. It was actually the day that I contacted you.
That's amazing. Nice to see that there are so many friends in your group.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, Lizzie, she lives alone, but she's handling it pretty well. Well, not alone. She has a roommate. Her roommate and Ellen are, like, fucking spot on for each other, almost. If Ellen, like, survived off of energy drinks and was younger and smaller.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Did I ever get a picture of Raya?
You did not.
I'm gonna grab my phone and be like, hang on one second. I'm gonna shoot Raya a text, be like, I need your photo.
You get a selfie back?
Like, thanks. I'm gonna show my mom the selfie of Raya.
Oh, they do look really similar. Almost exact clones. This one's a much younger, though.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, does Ellen have a sister?
I think so, yeah.
Twin?
Yeah, twin sister.
Okay. Did they happen to share the same quirk?
They do, actually.
Okay, okay. Does Frankie have a twin?
No. Well,
okay.
Actually, I don't know, but I would suppose not, because he said no one else in his family has his specific quirk, and he's been alive for a little bit over 100 years, so I would assume not.
Okay. So, I'm gonna look at Eve, and then I'm gonna look back at my mom.
Pretty slowly
Fuck it, I'm not
beginning
good
to
at...
smile.
Wait, who is?
Your mother. She's slowly beginning to smile, and she says, "What's wrong, hon?"
You know what? Fuck it. All right. I'm just gonna go for it. The daughter of Ellen's, I'm gonna do air quotes, sister, said that Ellen's sister was a vigilante, and then whenever you sent me that picture of her and Frank, she also said that Frank looks also like a vigilante.
She smiles. Well, you're right, all three of them are.
Okay,
You know how hard it is to find good help nowadays?
I could see that.
Well, wow.
You do realize that I'm pretty sure Eve's on the same thought track that I am. You just blatantly told two hero students that you have vigilantes in your group.
Yes, and I'm married to a pro hero as well.
Okay, So, two things. First of all, does Dad actually know that?
Of course. I'm sure he talks to all of his other compatriots. I know all of them talk together. One of them is a pro hero, although he is very low ranking.
Okay. Second question. Are you a vigilante?
Me? No. I'm not a vigilante, hon. I just work with them. It's hard to get good, competent help nowadays that can actually defend you in case of a terrorist attack or emergency. I just don't trust the heroes in this world to do it for me, so I have hired help do it.
Okay. So, I was thinking about this. I'm supposed to probably turn in vigilantes if I know about it. You know, being a future hero and all.
We can stage something for you if you'd like.
Well, as I was thinking about it, doing that really doesn't really net me anything in the end. And, you know, from the reports that I've read about Frank and... I'm going to go with Ellen and her sister at this point, that they didn't really kill civilians, only villains and
they did.
corrupt heroes.
Ellen and her sister were not vigilantes, per se. They were vigilantes in the same way that a vigilante works, but they were also serial killers at first. By what she said, they were fighting to survive on the streets of California, by what I hear. I'm not going to lie to you, hon. This is just part of the business.
We're gonna look at Eve. Is she as lost as I am right now about how fucking open this is going?
Yeah, Eve says, "Damn, man, I didn't know your mother was a fucking... this."
Wow, alright, I really underestimated how gangster my fucking mom was.
Gangster! I underestimated how gangster my mom was.
She straight up has a killer on her fucking player roll, and I actually don't know where to go with this now, because I was expecting this to be a whole, like, no, I'm not a vigilante, no, she's just like, fuck yeah, no, they're vigilantes, I'm not, but you know.
What did Kevin Hart say one time? My kid is so gangsta it scares me sometimes.
But I'm just gonna look at my mom and be like, you know what, honestly, the honesty is winning you a lot of points, but also throwing my entire fucking train of thought off the rails. I'm gonna... hang on. I'm gonna text Jiraiya and be like, so... yes, but it's not your mom?
Is it my aunt?
Yeah.
About what I thought.
What were you hoping to get out of this again? Because I have been blindsided by my mother being honest with me. I'm texting all of this to her real quick.
She says, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't my mother.
Yeah, no, it's not. Are you, like, still pissed off about the fact that they're vigilantes? Like, what exactly was the gripe about this? I
bear no grudge against her, only my mother. I saw her do some things that I wouldn't exactly call fully moral at one point, but I have no grudge against my aunt. She should be alright. As far as I know. And your mother says, you're also wrong, hon. Frankie's never been a vigilante. It's David that's the vigilante. It's him.
We're gonna text Raya, be like, you said it was it was Frankie who was the, well, she doesn't know his name, but it was the dude in the background of this photo, and I'm gonna send her the same photo that my mom sent me. That was another vigilante who should be in prison, right?
No, the one with his arm cut off, not with the one in the background.
Was the one with his arm cut off, David?
Yes.
Okay. Be like, okay. Do you want your aunt to know about your existence? Question mark.
I'll decide that for myself later.
Do you want her number just in case?
Sure.
Okay. I'll text it to you later, you little stare gremlin.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna send her a thumbs up. Be like, alright, that just solved a fucking lot of problems that I was having. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna just do a quick rundown for myself here. You, my mother, employ vigilantes and or known killers as both bodyguards and fucking stagehands. My dad, who's a pro hero, knows about them, hasn't done anything about it. And you know what? I need to know now. Do my brothers know?
One of them does.
Oh, those bags of dicks. Alright,
She's still warmly smiling at you. Hun.
I'm gonna look at Eve real quick. 1 second. So, this didn't go any way that I thought it was.
It certainly did not, Eve says, looking at you.
Fuck it, we just going with this?
I don't know what else to do. What do you want to do? Throw a smoke bomb and disappear?
Nope, yep, alright. I'm accepting this at face value, and I'm just gonna go with it. If they ever do somehow get caught, and you were linked to being their employer, plausible deniability, I'm just gonna say I don't know you.
Of course, son. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. Not only do I got the vigilante, but I also have a couple friends on the other side.
A lot darker and a lot more sketchy than I want it to be, and I'm choosing that we're going to walk past this and just not pay attention to it.
No, she says, putting a hand on your shoulder. You're my son, and it is up to me to teach you everything I know and make sure you are healthy, happy, safe, and most of all, well-informed about the world and what we live in. After all, I'm the one who created you. Am I not?
I'm gonna put my hand on my mom's shoulder. I don't know how unthreatening you think this is coming off as, but it's pretty fucking threatening.
Oh, sorry, hon, she says, taking a step back. I didn't know I could be
I'm gonna be like,
threatening.
no, just the wording that you went with, like, okay, friends on the other side, and then just like, it's up to you to teach me about this. It's like, you're making it sound like you're about to recruit me into a fucking villain organization, which, just hard pass on that shit.
Friends on the other side.
I am not going double agent on this shit. I
We're
haven't
pulling
even
a-
started this school yet. I have so much other shit on my plate.
We're pulling a Princess and the Frog, alright?
What she does, she really do got friends on the other side. So she says, all right, don't worry, I'm not trying to recruit you in anything crazy. It's just you gotta learn how the world is. Sometimes you gotta make a few risks and a few exceptions to things that you would otherwise fight for your life for, morality or otherwise, to make a few corrections. Is that how you wrangle all your husbands? Eve says.
No, I'm just feeling, I'm gonna look at Eve and be like, no, I'm pretty positive it's like a portion of the work that I actually just didn't get.
Whoa. Your mother says, closing the back doors. Are you trying to say I've hypnotized them into doing what I want?
I mean, that was my initial impression, but noticing the tone of voice and how you're not instantly accepting it, I'm now just assuming that you're charming as shit.
The current U.S. president doesn't have a quirk. You know what the worst kind of quirk is?
One that makes you ugly?
The one that allows you to convince anyone of anything you want, because in the end of the day, you can just do that without a quirk. Besides, the reason I have those 4 is not for their money. She takes the keys out of the ignition. Not for their bodies. And not for their time. I don't want to be alone when I get older. And you kids will one day leave the roost and go off and become great people of your own right, with your own children. But one day...
I'm gonna slowly turn to Eve as my mother is saying this.
Eve looks at you. Your mom kinda crazy.
No, I'm gonna point at Eve and be like, no, you literally said that to me in this car. I point to my car 5 fucking hours ago.
Oh, I don't remember. I fell asleep.
Oh, you sweet summer child. I'm gonna go over. I'm just gonna hug Eve for a second. Just be like, you sweet summer child. I'm gonna let her go.
I don't want to be alone when I die. Besides, I want people to love me and remember me. Sure, all my fans will, she says, walking towards the mansion.
I'm gonna start following after her.
But their love, well, it's only temporary. Consumerism is a really big thing nowadays, and it's only temporary so long as I can keep their attention. But the love that your father and your other fathers give me, that will never go away. And that is something I can appreciate for the rest of my life, for the rest of forever. Besides, why stop at just 1 when I can have 2? Why stop at 2 when I can have 3? Why stop at 3 when I can handle all 4? And they love me all the same. Not only do they love me, they like to be around each other too. So in the end of the day, it's a win-win. And I buy them nice things, so they also have that going for them. What the fuck happened to your mom? Eve says, I remember her in my childhood. I'm pretty sure she wasn't like this. Is she possessed by a demon?
No, I think it's just more along the lines of the fact that we're older and she's just being more straightforward with us. That and
yes.
Honestly, this was the best kind of explanation she could have given for her being with all my dads. She actually just genuinely wanted to be with them. She's not just using them. Because that would have been a little bit more fucked up, right? I'm gonna look at Eve.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit more fucked up, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, What the fuck happened? Like, what? Holy shit. How did we never notice this?
I don't know. I mean, I respect the shit out of her for her honesty. Like,
yeah,
that's really what's catching me off guard here.
Yeah, just being so honest. You think she would hide something, but no, she's just laid it all to bear and just said everything. I don't know. I don't know. But wait, I still have my question. She says, chasing her inside.
We were going inside anyway, Eve. Stop fucking running.
Oh, come on. You always saunter everywhere.
I don't saunter. I fucking just walk normally.
The fuck you don't? You're doing it right now.
I look down and I'm just kind of walking with very much pride and not a need to actually go anywhere.
Exactly.
It's oh, well, shit, okay. And I'm gonna just quickly sprint forward just to catch up real quick.
Eve says, how do you do it? How do you do it? Tell me. he says, moving in front of your mother. I know we just got here, and I know we're having a big conversation, but putting all that vigilante and crazy shit you do just behind entire society's back, how do you do all of it? How do you have so many people love you at such an age when normally people like us would be dying and no one would love us? Have you been snorting religious babble? What the hell? Your mother looks at her.
I'm gonna look at my mom and just be like, yeah, that actually brings me to the point that I want to talk to you about. And
hold on. Both of you, come with me. Let's go to my private study so we can have a nice conversation alone without any problems. Okay. Eve says.
Both me and her say okay at the exact same time and just fucking stand up.
So,
as we're walking, I'm just gonna reach over, I'm gonna grab Eve's hand, I'm just gonna be a little scared.
Yeah, I'm a little scared too. Something right here. What if she reveals some dark secret that'll change her life forever? Your mother says. The Necronomicon's at the main house, stupid. She's joking, right? She's joking, right? I think she's joking.
I have no idea, and I'm not willing to keep asking these questions. Let's just keep our heads down, nod, and agree.
So, she brings you into her private study. You know SpongeBob's library?
Yes.
It's like a massive dome-shaped room, like more of a cylinder with a dome on top, just filled with books with a desk in the middle and a statue of Abraham Lincoln in the middle. It's like a Greek-style statue of Abraham Lincoln wearing only his hat with like a leaf over his midsection, and he's holding a pitcher of gravy, slowly pouring it out, and the gravy inside of it is water that becomes like a fountain, like a drinking fountain.
As I see this, I'm gonna just turn to my mom.
What?
And point at the statue. Fucking why?
I install a statue of all the founding fathers in my house.
Is there one at my actual main house?
Not that you've ever seen.
I did not need this in my life, but alright.
Although technically Abraham Lincoln is not one of the founding fathers, but he is one of the most influential presidents. You should see the one I made of Bush. She just ends that conversation with, once again, a warm, loving smile.
Alright, can I do an insight check just to see if any of this has been a lie?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, considering
right.
Abraham Lincoln standing right in front of you.
No, well, not even just that. Any of the shit that we just went over. I just want to do a quick insight check to see if I can discern if any of this has been a lie so far.
Your mother calmly sits down at her desk. She says, okay, first let's start with Eve's philosophical question. Never knew that Eve was so into philosophy and ideals of society.
She's been going through it lately, kind of a lot. But yeah.
One bad day, Eve says. Your mother puts her hands together and says, okay, I understand what you're going through. I really do. Usually you have this kind of crisis later in life, like somewhere in your 50s. But 16 is a good time to get out of the way.
I don't think it's a midlife crisis.
No. Adam, you're a boy. You don't understand. You may never until you're like 90, but some people who judge a person's value in different ways believe that when a girl gets to a certain age, they aren't worth as much anymore. This age ranges from the individual, but a lot of them believe it to be the year 30. Understand? Hello?
Wait, was that to me or?
Yeah, that was to you. She was explaining it to you.
Oh. Okay.
She says, a lot of people think that way, and it's clearly got Eve down here, mostly because I've seen how her father acts, and she has probably been taught this kind of philosophy. However, I have very good news, Eve. Your age is not what allows people to love you. How you act around people is what allows them to love you. A person who is an asshole, but very young, will never be liked by anyone. Because they're an asshole. But you have to think, some of the most influential and beautiful women in the world have been above 30. I mean, if we're just talking politics and not attraction, what about the Queen of England? The current Queen of England? She's 93. She's almost as old as Frankie.
What is Frankie like? Seemingly immortal.
Frankie is immortal. So immortal in the fact that he occasionally flips his name around by accident. Sometimes he's Frankie, other times he's Georgie.
Those two don't even sound the same.
Sometimes he's Jeffrey. What'd you say?
Different.
Oh. Yes, sometimes he's Jeffrey. Other times he's Juan. He does that occasionally. But he is immortal.
It takes Juan to know Juan. I'm not apologizing.
I know one better, but now is not the time. So. Indeed. And Eve says, that's not it. I just want to be able to focus on me and my early life rather than, romantic interest and love and stuff. Welcome back. Welcome back, Cole. I can hear you breathing.
That and the fact that he unmuted himself.
He did? I can't see it because I'm not on Discord. I'm looking at OBS.
Yeah, no, he's unmuted now.
Alright.
Still not talking.
Kind of weird.
He knows his place.
I'm hearing ruffling noises occasionally from him. So, she says, that's what you're worried about? And Eve says, yes, I want to know how you can do it. How can you attract all these guys? And each of them loves you the same. And you could have more than one. Has something happened to Eve? He says, looking at you.
Yes, but apparently it was in the past and not as of recently. And it's recently coming to the surface, causing a bunch of fucking problems.
I think I can take a guess why with all the new stress on you.
Yeah.
Well, Eve?
To solve this problem very quickly and to kind of catch you up, you ever hear the Kenneth McKinnell Correctional Camp?
Oh, yes.
That.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What was this place? Eve says, I don't remember any of it. I just remember bad things happening. What was it?
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna hug, like shoulder hug Eve. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
It's
I'll tell you straight, Eve. It was
very poor choice of words in that.
Oh yeah. Yes. It was it was straight camp. It was a straight camp. What? Eve says, looking around. It was a what? What? Those still exist?
It was apparently very heavily influenced by fucking the church. So.
And both political parties, your mother says, looking to the left. It was a place founded by the rich and powerful, so the rich and powerful can do what they want there. However, even still, it was a straight camp, and it was a very bad place where people were killed and executed. It was more than just the straight camp. It was a place where politicians and members of the church and the rich and powerful in this world would take the people they don't like to have them be rid of.
Yeah, apparently her uncle was the one who shipped her there. Originally I thought it was her dad who was a fucking monster, but that kind of changed once I got a hold of her file.
I hear her father does have strict rulings and beliefs, but I would never believe he would do something like that to his own daughter. Well, I'm sorry, Eve. I didn't know you had to go through anything like that. Let me explain. Eve says, wait, why did I even have to go to one of those places? I've never even thought about myself in that light.
Well, it wasn't just straight camp, it was also...
Basically a juvenile correctional facility.
Yeah, apparently if you acted out or just did something that someone didn't like and they had access to sending people here, they would just do it.
It was a behavioral center?
Yes.
It was a really bad place. Thanks to my connections and how much money I make, I was able to learn about it pretty early on. Basically, someone approached me about it almost as soon as my first kid was born, although by then it was under a different name and in a different place. The whole place was completely destroyed back in the day by a fire, and it closed down shortly afterwards. But I'm sure there's another version of it somewhere out there. I don't exactly know. It's probably on the East Coast somewhere, so my influence doesn't spread that far. But
yeah, me and fuck, who the hell was it?
Goro.
I have his name. Yeah, Goro. Me and Goro, one of my friends from school, were the ones who were digging around about this, and we found some of the old people who were there around whenever, I'm gonna look at Eve, whenever you were around there. Some of them are in prison, others kicked the bucket, and some of them are living relatively normal lives. Not for long, but they're living normal lives.
Eve says, I don't even know what I did around my uncle to facilitate something like this. I always thought I was just a good kid. I didn't do anything wrong. Did I? You watched me a lot when I was younger. Did I ever do something wrong?
No.
No? Well, you were particularly aggressive when you were a child, but Adam was as well, so you two got along very well together. I wouldn't say you deserve anything like that. Eve, your mother says, clapping her hands together. It's okay. I think I understand how you feel. I came from money, and so did you. I had a similar childhood, although no straight camp. But my father had a lot of expectations on me to act a certain way, and I shattered their shackles. And you're very close to that very point now, aren't you? Eve, take what you want from this world, and don't care about anything else. Because in the end, are you going to care on your deathbed that you fulfilled your father and made him proud? Or are you going to care that you never learned who you really are, or what you should really act like? That's up to you. I know that you've always had radical changes in personality, Eve. I've seen you. You're adorable. And my son grew up with you, so I know you quite well. Good luck, Eve. And what was the other thing you two wanted to talk to me about? Something about religious connotations? What was it?
Goddamn, I am now fucking completely spacing on that because that was so long ago.
Hun, that was about 6 minutes ago. Do you need brain pills?
No, not right now.
Perfect.
Well, religious connotation, kind of, to what, to one thing that I was wondering. The whole fact with my name being Adam and my brother's names being different angels, like, did you do that on purpose, or was that one of the dads?
Oh, I did that on purpose. The reason I did that is quite obvious, I do think. Don't you think?
I mean, yours is literally Lilith, so...
It was to mark us as people amongst the gods instead of part of the common folk. So every time someone would think of our names, they would know that we're above them.
Huh. You hear that, Eve? We're above everybody else. I already knew that, but, you know, good to finally have someone else knowing it.
Plus, a name means a lot, son of mine. A name means certainly a lot. A name is who you are, and it can affect you if it has a slight guttural ting to it, like the name Grandeur or Asgear. Perhaps you will be more inclined to be violent. Otherwise, your name may affect who you are in different ways because you're constantly hearing it. But in the end, I think everything worked out pretty well. The only thing I never taught you properly was silence.
As she says that, I'm gonna look her dead in the eyes. I'm gonna summon my guitar and do a power chord, be like, yeah, but silence is boring. I prefer to go fucking loud.
That's not what I mean, hon. I taught you to be quiet, you just didn't want to be. That's just you. But I never taught you to appreciate silence. Now did I?
Well, I think you instilled it in me a little bit, but for sure the ADHD kind of negates that.
I suppose. But either way, you are my child. You more take after your father than anything else, though.
Yeah.
She has her eyes closed as she says all this, almost peacefully slumbering in life.
I mean, she also did just probably get off like a fucking 12-hour flight.
Yes, she did. It was not 12 hours.
Probably actually very tired right now, but she's still willing to make the time for me.
It's only 10 hours.
Yeah, still, she's fucking tired.
And a 2-hour drive, and she says, "Alright, you two. Well, I've certainly got a lot of things to organize and do before heading to bed. She stands up. Make yourselves at home. I know you have school in about a week, so make sure to be there. You don't want to miss your first lesson.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
we already got that all covered.
Hold on, I gotta let the dog in. I'll cut recording here. As your mother walks out, Eve...
Am I gonna like this decision, or am I gonna hate this decision?
I think you're gonna be afraid. Eve looks at her hands and says, I do what I want. But what does that entail? She looks forwards. And Eve almost zones out just looking at the room around her and all the stuff here. And we zoom deep into Eve's eye as we see like a pair of red fangs slowly bite down on darkness in a dark room within her mind as the red fangs begin to glow brighter as they move slowly towards the camera more and more and more and more before eating the camera. And she says,
You alright there?
Eve takes off her hoodie and holds it in one hand, and she says, I understand now. I get it. Your mother.
Aww.
I understand what she meant by all of it. I was just never able to truly understand it fully.
And what do you now understand?
This world is an oyster.
Mm-hmm.
If she bites her thumb hard enough to cause it to bleed a little bit. And I need to learn how to take it. I can't be the person that my father wanted me to. I just can't. I can't change myself. I understand now. I just needed someone older than me and wiser than me to tell me that. But I know what I can do.
At this point, real quick, before Eve continues on with her monologue, whenever she said that she just needed someone to tell her to just live for herself, I'm going to look toward... It's at that point, Adam just looks towards the camera and just shakes his head and then looks back at Eve.
Amazing detail. I think I'm going to be a lot nicer of a person in the future.
Does that mean that we can't make fun of people anymore?
No, we can totally do that. We're not going to stop doing that.
Oh, thank God!
But I know what I want now. I understand everything in my mind.
And...
I am now unchained, just like Django. Except without the horribly racist connotations that phrase implies. Let's have fun, she says, grabbing your hand and forcing you to your feet. Come on, let's go. Play some video games. Do something fun. I need to process everything. Your mother's great.
Want to see if that one fucking immortal dude would let us try and throw knives at his hands?
I never really thought, but yeah, he technically would just regenerate, wouldn't he?
Oh, let's see if we can catch a knife.
I'm sure he can. How long? Yeah. You go find David of all people?
What? No, not that one. I meant the immortal one that's here.
Oh, they're both here. Who do you want to hurt? The man who can regenerate or the man who can put himself back together?
Fuck it, we'll just make it a group announcement. We'll see if we get any takers.
You find both of them in the kitchen cooking.
So like, alright, me and Eve got a bet. I say that you can catch a knife while she says that you can catch a knife. Who's willing to prove who wrong?
They both look at each other. One of them says, David says, well, catch knives.
Yeah.
I mean, seems like a dangerous endeavor, although both of us are equipped with it. Fine. I guess I am quite bored cooking anyhow.
How are you guys even cooking?
We've decided to make some dinner for the three of us, since your mother's probably just gonna pass out for the next 12 hours anyways.
Yeah, she seemed like she was pretty fucking exhausted.
She's been up for about 39 hours.
Jesus Christ, how is she still conscious?
Well, she just kind of goes, I guess. She doesn't, like, drink a whole lot of energy drinks or anything. I think it's just the coffee. Also, she keeps using a sousaphone. I think that might be part of it. You know, a tiny handheld sousaphone.
I know what a sousaphone is. I'm just
Okay.
kind of curious why the fuck she's using that to stay awake.
Well, hold on. I actually have camera footage of her doing it. He shows you a video of your mother. She has a tiny sousaphone in her hand, where her palm is the board to it, and it has like a tiny pair of like wooden pommels attached to her thumb. And she hits 3 chords on it. It goes dun 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 dun. And when that final chord hits, she wakes up a little bit more suddenly. He puts his phone back in his pocket.
Does that look like a normal sousaphone?
No, it looks like one that she made. Like, with her quirk.
Oh. Oh, well, yeah, she can spawn instruments. I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I was like,
Yeah.
no, my dad spawns weapons, she can spawn instruments. Mine's a fusion where it's weapons that are instruments.
Yes.
Okay.
I think she uses her quirk to wake herself up. But either way, fine. I'm not in here, though.
I'm gonna look at Eve. I'm gonna hold up a finger and be like, Eve, remind me before we leave here to get my mom to write down a bunch of new notes that I can study to possibly add to my quirk.
Alright. If I remember, Eve says. Now then, she fucking wings a knife at David. It just goes straight into David's throat, and he says... He like holds his throat over the sink, pulls it out, and just like geyser of blood just...
Alright. Well, he can't catch worth a damn. I grab another steak knife that's just on the counter and whip it at fucking Frank.
Now, hold on. Frank, you do have deflect projectiles. Would you...
What's it into fucking David?
Would you kindly roll me a to hit roll?
Well, this isn't my quirk, so I don't think I actually get any buffs to this.
He deflects 12. I don't even think you can do over 12 damage with a fucking 1d4 steak knife. So yeah, he catches it.
Alright.
And then, yeah, I'll throw it at David.
Like, I told you Frank could catch it.
Oh, poor David. David, how do you feel with this? Critical to your face.
Oh my god, he got crit.
He crits on 18s, 19s, and 20s.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh my god, David. David, are you alright there? You ain't looking too good. David, you just took 16 damage. He throws it into the other side of David's neck, and he says, God damn it. That's fucking Dracula. He pulls the other one out of his neck, getting all the blood in the sink. Seems like he's done this before. As his body regenerates nerve first in front of you.
I see it regenerate the nerves first, like, oh god, that has to be painful.
It is.
Oh.
It is extraordinarily painful. That's why I said we shouldn't do it in here, because it would get blood everywhere.
You should flick the nerve.
I'm gonna slowly reach over and, like, poke the nerves.
Stop that! It makes me twitch.
Is, oh my god, is Ellen here?
No.
I was gonna ask Ellen if this happens a lot.
You can kind of tell it does, but Frankie here says, come on, David, you're so useful. Imagine what all of those cancer kids would do if they knew that you were the one who saved their life. They would be so happy.
Wait, you can heal cancer?
No, well, somewhat, yes. If, his throat fully heals now, and he says, yes, I can fully heal some kinds of cancer, mostly blood, bone, and brain cancer. If someone takes a little bit of my cells, you know a naked mole rat?
Yes.
I have a larger resistance to cancer than they do.
So you're anti-cancer?
Basically, my blood can fight off cancer cells really easily because my killers are quite numerous in my body. And they're well programmed. I have the same cancer resistance as some elephants. Or whales.
And you don't actively donate blood to cancer research. Why?
I do.
Wow. Man, they are really dragging their fucking feet then. Holy shit.
I do donate my blood to cancer research. Of course I do. Do you think I'm some sort of asshole?
I kind of do like a so-so motion with my hand.
I basically have the cure for certain types of cancers running through my veins, and I have almost an unlimited amount of it so long as I don't run out of whatever the fuck my body uses for it.
Alright.
Yeah, Frankie says. Plus, he doesn't age. Well, he ages. Just very slowly. He's actually 45, but he looks like he's 23.
Huh.
My cells have an overabundance of telomerase in them. I'm able to live for a very long time as my cells use very little of it, and there's a lot of it, which means my cells can create almost perfect clones of each other. Alright, are we done poking and prodding at my body? Alright, Frankie, how about you tell them how you fucking work? I'm like that black woman from the 1950s.
That is very vague. That is very vague and very concerning.
So, okay. Back a long time ago, before quirks were really a thing, there was a fine lady who developed a form of cancer that allowed her cells to infinitely divide, right?
Okay.
These cells were used in a whole lot of lab tests for way after her death, hundreds of years after her death. She was known as one of the greatest people who ever lived. She saved countless lives. Great woman. I'm like her, but to an extreme. My cells don't divide.
Your cells don't divide.
Nope.
That... I don't know... I don't think that should work, should it?
It totally does. He smiles.
All right.
It totally does. It completely and totally works. What it is my cells don't die. Even if they're destroyed or completely eviscerated, my cells just don't die. They live.
Huh.
That's why I got all these stitches, he says. Like, holding open his shirt, and there's just like, you know Yamamoto body?
Yeah.
Imagine Yamamoto body, but instead of scars, they're just stitches. Yeah, but the thing is, some of his cells get lost every time he gets hurt.
Damn.
Which means he's slowly losing himself. Yeah, Frankie says. I was 6'3" at one point. Now, I'm lower than 6 foot.
Kind of sucks.
Hey, it's alright, though. Just shh. Okay. What he does next may be found disturbing.
What are they going to do? Take his pants?
What? No. What he does next may be found disturbing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. He takes the knife from the sink.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly... Oh, hold on.
Ew.
There we go. Sorry.